Excessive heat warning is now in effect. In this video, we're going to be covering 7 tips to help beat the heat and actually go for your run and get your miles in. Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Duane Scotti. I'm a physical therapist with Spark Physical Therapy, where we help keep active adults and athletes healthy, doing the activities, workouts, sports they love without pain, rest, or multiple trips to the doctor's office. So we have a heat wave right now. We're in the dog days of summer. It is going to be excessively hot this week. I needed to get my long run in. I just needed to get it done, and I was quite fearful prior to today. And as I was on my run, I was thinking about the strategies that set me up for success. And when I was kind of coming down to the last mile or two, I was kind of thinking, hey, I actually feel a little bit better than I thought I would. So I figured this might be helpful for you, especially if you're a novice runner and you're just starting out and you're not sure how to kind of beat the heat. I want to share with you my 7 tips, strategies, as well as certain products I use that assist me in meeting my goal today, getting in my 10-mile run so I can continue training, doing what I love, because running to me is my form of, mental clarity, benefit, as well as the physical benefit. So if you guys are hopping here on the live, just type in live. If you're coming in on and watching this on the replay, just type in replay so I can give you a shout out that you're here on the replay. So tip number 1, really getting into, I want to start from the kind of the bottom up. So taking care of your feet. So what do I mean by that? So first off, you got to prevent blisters. How do you prevent blisters? Is Body Glide. So those of you who have used Body Glide before or have gotten blisters and chafing, you're familiar with Body Glide, but this thing is like magic. I love this. I use it all year round now, not just in the summer, but this morning there was definitely an extra amount of layers that I was rubbing on the bottom of my feet, all the areas where you think you are going to get a little blisters or you get a little sore, or places that you tend to callus up on your feet. So second part about taking care of your feet is proper socks. So these are my actual, these are my best anti-blister socks. Baliga is the brand here. They're a thicker kind of wool type sock, where these were the best when I was training for the marathon, that helped prevent any blisters or excessive callousing that was going on in my feet. So making sure you're wearing the proper socks is very, very important. And then getting on to tip number 2. So we're doing the 7 tips that is going to help you beat the heat and get your run in this summer is Band-Aids. So why do I have a big Band-Aid here? For those guys out there, I only can speak from the male perspective here, but one thing I do know is when you excessively sweat, like when you are in a race and your tank top is literally attached to your body because it is soaking wet, it can chafe the nipple area. So Band-Aids has been clutch. I've tried Body Glide at like races before, but even that's not enough. So literally Band-Aid right over the nipple helps prevent chafing of the nipple. You don't get cracked, bloody nipples, because if you've ever been there before, you can attest to the fact that that is terrible. That's one place you never want to go back to. That happened to me at the Fairfield Half Marathon one year, and I do not ever want to have that happen again. And I've seen people at races, like literally blood coming down their tank tops. So don't let that happen to you. When it's on a hot day like this and your tank top's going to be drenched to your body, think about when you're running, that is going to irritate that area, and you get that excessive shear forces with it being so moist, then you're going to wind up breaking down your skin, getting cracked, bloody nipples. So that is not fun. I would imagine for females, it's a little different. You guys got like the sports bras, and I would imagine that functions like compression shorts, so that helps protect. But for us guys who are wearing like loose fitting t-shirts as well as tank tops, I think that sheer irritation is something that you don't want to get. So this definitely saved me this morning. No irritation there. So tip number 3, hydrate. So what do you need to do in terms of hydration? You need to hydrate not only during your run, but before you run, and not only the morning before you go on your run, but the night before. So you got to make sure you hydrate in advance. You want to think about hydrating your body a day before if you know you're going to be going on a long, sweaty run. Still sweating from mine right now, so getting a little sweat in the eyes. But you want to make sure you hydrate. So last night I made sure that we were out pretty late last night. My daughter had her drama play. She did a little drama camp this week. It was awesome. St. Peter's Church puts it on at Elam Park. Bye Bye Birdie. It's a great play. Those of you who know anyone that was in the play, they did a fantastic job. So that was kind of late last night. We came back. We had some family in town. So we're, hanging out with family. So it got back pretty late, but I made sure that I did get in a good 3 glasses of water before I did actually go to bed. And then when I woke up, I actually had 3 glasses of water before I went out on my run. And then during my run, I actually hydrated. So normally on my long runs, I just hydrate before, like I just explained. And then I hydrate at 2 points during my run. I stop at the Cheshire Park and Rec area and I grab water basically 2.5 miles from my house and then 2.5 miles back to my house on the way back. So I make 2 water stops. But today I did do my little hydration belt. So hydration belt was key. I haven't wore this thing since I was, sorry about that, just dropped the phone there. That's what happens when we go live. I haven't worn the hydration belt since I was doing full marathon training. So for half marathons, I never really bring the belt with me out on a run. But for a day like today, where it is excessively hot and humid, then you definitely need to hydrate during your run. So this was kind of key as I was hydrating during my run. Get some water in right now, and then that was I didn't feel dehydrated whatsoever. I actually felt really good when I got home, which I was really surprised about. So hydration is key. And then tip number 4, getting into fuel. So how are you going to fuel? Besides just having water, number 1, you need to make sure that you're replenishing your electrolytes, because when you sweat, you're removing a lot of electrolytes from your body. So I like to use UCAN Hydrate. So that's what I do, mix in with my water. I actually had a serving of this last night, and then I had that, my UCAN Hydrate, within my belt as I was out on my run. And then last 3 miles of my run, I did 10 this morning, but the last 3 miles I did a little bit of energy gel. So I like to use the Carb Boom. This is more of a natural product, no artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners. It's real fruit. This one does have a little caffeine in it, for those looking for a little caffeine boost as well. This is the one that has been the best on my stomach. I kind of used to get irritated from a lot of the other goos and gels. I know there are a lot of products out there, but this has worked for me. It may work for you if your stomach doesn't do well with gels. Carb Boom. So that's fuel. So you want to make sure you are fueling during your run. And then next topic, I want to talk about the head and face area. So first off, sunglasses. Sunglasses are key to help keep the sun out of your eyes, protect your face a little bit more so the sun is not pounding down on you. Jeff, what's up? Thanks for jumping on here. So sunglasses, these are actually pretty legit running sunglasses that I got a couple of years ago. Julbo, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they're pretty legit because they don't fog at all and they actually breathe. There's areas in there to breathe. They're anti-glare. So I wear these in everything. Sun, humid weather conditions like today, as well as rain, as well as snow, as well as ice. These are like awesome. So these were well worth the investment. They're definitely like probably $200-300 or something like that. But I've had them for 3 years now and I wear them every single run. And they do actually change with how much sun is out there. So they actually, I don't know what that's called, but they will change so they're not dark all the time. If it's not that sunny out, it's not like I feel like I'm running in darkness. So they will adapt. So sunglasses, definitely key. And then the new thing that I've been doing now is the hat. So the hat, I never used to wear a hat at all, but my friends over at the Massachusetts chapter of the APTA, I did a little talk for them at their annual conference, and I got this little hat. So you can see movement matters. But this is like a kind of, what do you call this? Head sweat, right? Head sweat hat. And what I like about it is it does definitely absorb all of your sweat. So it keeps it out of your eyes and dripping down your face. So it almost functions like a headband. But one thing I actually just discovered this morning that is really, really cool feature is you take your water and you just put it on your head and it just cools your head down. So it like keeps the cold water like on your head and really cools you down. That was like an amazing feature. I never knew. I just discovered this morning because at races typically, right, you're overheating, you take a cup of water, you throw it on your head, and then it just like drips everywhere down. It really doesn't stay on your head. This actually, right now, I feel cool, even, 5-10 seconds after I put the water on, and it helps keep things kind of cool and moist in there. So highly recommend the hat. If you're not wearing one, obviously you got the little visor, it'll keep the sun out as well, to keep you a little bit cooler. So head and face wear, definitely really important. Guys, if you're here on the live, just say live so I know you're here. If you are watching this on the replay, type in #teamreplay. Tip number 6. Tip number 6 is going to be go out there early. So I know a couple of people in our Healthy Runner CT Facebook group. If you are looking for a community of runners out there that want to support you in your endeavors and want to run healthy from a physical standpoint, nutritional standpoint, training standpoint, then definitely head over and check out our group. Ask to join our group. It's a closed group just meant for runners, whether or not you're a beginner or an advanced runner. But in our group, we had a couple of discussions of what time people were going to go out, and going out there a little earlier before the heat and the heat of the day. So if you can get out there before the sun's really getting up high in the sky, that's going to be best. I didn't get out as early as I wanted to because of the play last night. So it was a matter of getting 5 hours of sleep or getting 6, and I chose to get 6. And so I did get out there like 8 a.m. So it's not as early as I would have liked, but try to get out there 6 a.m., 7 a.m. That's usually when I'm 5 a.m. I'm out there during the weekday at those times. But for a weekend, right, you're up a little bit later, get sleep in a little bit. Rest is important too as a runner for recovery. So don't forget that. But try to get out there early before it really does get hot. So you definitely, obviously, do not want to be out there between 10 and 2 p.m. when the sun is at its highest peak in the sky and it's just, you're like frying out there on the pavement. So last tip, guys, tip number 7 is you got to go slow. So all your expectations in terms of your pace for your run need to be adjusted based upon the heat. And that's what I did. So next week we got the sea leg shuffle race going down. So I'm excited to be at that race. Actually, I just posted this week that we're going to be hosting or not hosting, but we are going to be having a nice little group warm-up. So we're going to do a little mile jog as well as followed by a little dynamic movement prep warm-up. So if you guys are interested in joining in on that, you can just type in group into or type in stretch into the comment box below, just so I know you will be at the sea leg shuffle race, and then we can meet up and go through the dynamic stretch. I did create an event on my business Facebook page as well, Spark Physical Therapy, as well as in our Healthy Runner CT group, we do have an event. So if you are a part of that group already, then just head over to the event, say you're going to be there, so I know who to look for and I know who to message to let you know where exactly we will meet up to start the stretching before the race. But getting back to my point is the race is next week. So my expectations for today were I wasn't going to go out there and do a hard 10-miler, right? I knew because of the heat, my body is going to need to recover longer than when it typically does. So I didn't want to, if you go out there, especially on your long runs, guys, and you run too fast and you do too fast of a pace on your long runs, then that is going to set your recovery window back weeks. So you can set yourself back like 3 weeks in your training process. So given I have a race next Sunday that I want to be at my peak for, then I did not want to overtax myself today and then mess up my training for the rest of this week leading up to the race, and then basically be running on tired legs for next Sunday. So I adjusted my pace, my expectations, and knowing that the heat is going to have a greater impact on my muscles and on my body than a normal long run would. So right now, actually, it says it's 86 degrees here, but it's like, I don't know, 70 degree dew point, whatever that means. All I know is the feel like temperature right now is 96 degrees. So it is hot, right? So I realized that, hey, I'm not going to be able to run at my pace that I did last week. So last week I did 10 miles as well, and I ran at a 10:09 pace. I ran at a 9:10 pace last week. And I've been doing that pretty consistently for the last 3 or 4 weeks now at that about a little over 9 mark. So this morning, I set my expectations. I was like, I got to go slower. I have to. So I did a 10:09 pace, and I'm okay with that. So because I actually feel really good after this run, I don't feel like I'm totally drained, and I've taxed myself to the point where it's going to impact my recovery, and I'm not going to be able to race next week. So really going slow is that 7th tip, as well as being smart, guys. So if you don't feel good, you don't feel right, then you need to adjust your expectations. And if it is too hot and you haven't been training in any heat whatsoever, then yes, maybe you should just do the treadmill for the day. So I know a lot of runners that in these hot conditions do the treadmill. And then, there are some runners like myself, I really can't run on the treadmill ever. So to me, it's either running on the road or not running. So that's why I chose to run on the road today, and was able to kind of do that following these 7 tips. So if any of these 7 tips, guys, were helpful for you, just type in helpful into the comment box. I figured I'd share them with you. I'm not sure everyone knows about these kind of tips, as well as some of the products that have helped me in the past. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you are a runner who is struggling with pain, you're struggling with kind of not increasing your pace, or you have a goal of hitting a PR and you're looking kind of for that next edge, whether it's from a prehab standpoint at preventing injuries, treating injuries, or improving your performance, then head over to sparkyourtraining.com, where we specialize in working with you, the runner, at keeping you healthy, doing what you love, staying on the pavement, remaining active, and not only doing rest when you have an injury. So rest is not going to heal your injuries in the best fashion. So there is a way that you can continue to train through your injuries and learn the strategies and the techniques to help improve your injuries. All right, if you're looking for free exercise videos and tips, head over to the Spark Your Training, all one word, YouTube channel. We have over 50 videos just meant for you, the runner, in terms of exercises and exercise tips. So a lot of free content there. So my goal is to help you guys become better, healthier runners, share the strategies that I've worked with myself as an adult onset runner for the last 8 years, as well as all the clients that I've worked with, the hundreds of runners that I've helped over my 16-year career as a physical therapist. So again, this is Dr. Duane Scotti from Spark Physical Therapy. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you get out there, can get your run, but do it safely. Do it in a manner that you're not going to kill yourself or get some heat stroke. And I hope those tips were good. Jeff, thanks for jumping on. I appreciate you jumping on. I'm glad that was helpful, and good luck tomorrow on your run. And I look forward to hearing your success tomorrow. So jump on, share your tips on how you ran healthy and hit your goals tomorrow. Have a great rest of the weekend, guys. Until next time, bye.